Right, okay, so let's go for it. I've already imported the IO tags. How long have I been in the industry for? 14 years now. Yes, I'm all good, thank you, Hugh. How are you, mate? Right, not PLC sim, I want the other one. So we've got a load of tags. Let's take a look at what's coming. Oh, I haven't imported them yet. So let me import the tags. Let me pull that off over here. Right, they look like they've come in. Welcome in, everyone, welcome in. Right, so we've got a load of tags. Can you guys see that alright? It looks like you can. In fact, they're the wrong tags. They are the wrong tags. 2 seconds. Let me just sort the tags out. I don't know what it will show or what, so let's go into... I've not sorted this out yet. One sec. Phone. Rotate. 1 second. There we go. You can see me now. TikTok's just updated, so I've lost all my scenes and stuff. That'll do for now. I'm just putting some tags in, but I've got the wrong tags, so... How's everyone doing tonight? Welcome. We'll get started in just a second. So I need to import my tags. Open folder, tags. How's everyone doing tonight? I want that one there. That one there. I feel like the tags definitely didn't come in right there, because they were the tags from the last scene. Import. Pick that one. There we go. Right, tags. Done. Yeah, I know, Snarky man. I was just hiding my screen a minute because I wasn't sure what it would show. yeah, don't worry. I brought it back. So we were just looking at the tags for Factory IO for this scene here. So this is Factory IO, and this is Tier Portal version 20. Right, okay, so we've got some tags: at entry, at exit, entry conveyor, buffer conveyor. So I don't know if any of you missed that, but we're going to do this scene. I've not done this scene before. I'm not entirely sure how it works. I think it's just 2 motors, 2 sensors, and I'm assuming we probably get a number of boxes coming through. Like I say, I've not done this one, so I'm not sure. But we'll give it a go though. See what we can come up with. So, right. Contact. What was that called again? At entry. So if something's at entry, then... The thing is with the sensors, I don't know if anyone's used... Now this isn't a game, mate. No, this is Factory IO. It's like a simulation software. It's a very expensive simulation software. So the thing I'm not sure about... Was that Mrs. Logical Controls? Thank you, Katie. Thank you. The thing I'm not sure about with the sensors is whether they come in as they're already activated when there's nothing there, or if they activate, they go true when a box is there. So I guess the first thing I can do... Oh, not that one. That one. Oh, so I can probably close them down. There we go. Just put the contact down, put the coil down, see how it runs. What was this called? Entry motor or something? Entry conveyor. There we go. So if we're at entry, turn on entry conveyor. Let's see if that works. Like I say, I'm not sure entirely how it's going to come together. You're stuck on the fill tank one. I did the fill tank one yesterday. Not the analog one. I think there's an analog one a bit further on. But the timers one. But it was a bit boring. I didn't really see my point of it. Because it doesn't tell you. There's no objectives. You just got to get it working. I got it working using timers. But yeah, I thought it was a bit boring, that one. PMP or NPN. See, that's what I'm not sure about, mate. That's what I'm not sure. So let me just download that. Oh, see, okay, thanks, Kay, thank you. Right, okay, I think we're loaded. Are we loaded? No, I can't see anything yet. There we go, turn that on. So at the minute, with no box there, are we running? We're all good. I was expecting to see the rollers moving. You use Schneider at your factory. Schneider PLCs? I like Schneider PLCs, they're good. Yeah, they are good. We're running, we're connected, we're running. Let me go again. I was expecting a box to appear. 1 second. Item ready. Ah, okay. Do I need item ready then? That didn't seem to be in my tags unless I missed it. How are we doing all tonight, by the way? Yeah, your job has you doing it right now. Ah, okay. Who makes the best PLCs? I think it's totally personal preference, to be fair. Most people would say either Siemens or Allen Bradley. I personally think it's Mitsubishi, but it all depends. Ah, Duckmaster, you work with Tritium, so you do the BMS type stuff, do you? I'm not sure what JACEs are. Wago. I've not used the Wago yet. I do want to use a Wago. Item ready, so I need to add that into it. I was expecting a box to come up though, and I haven't had the box. I'll turn that on. Ah, there we go, there we go. Right, now we're getting somewhere. So the boxes just keep coming. I'm just trying to gauge how the scene works. The boxes just keep coming. I then need to move that one onto the buffer conveyor, and it'll go down and get removed. Oh, there's an at exit as well. So maybe when that one's at exit, that's when we can put the next one on. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, you don't HVAC controls. Oh, okay. I don't know much about HVAC controls, but I watch a lot of Professor Butler's videos, so I'm trying to learn. Is there a way of getting tier portal without paying licensing? Yeah, I mean, there are ways. All I would say, Hugh, is there are ways, but I'm not gonna go and explain how. Tier portal, everything in the same software. It is, but I don't know. I don't mind the way Mitsubishi does it. Java Application Control Engine. Oh, okay. That sounds... when you say Java, in my mind I'm thinking like, I don't know, websites and applications and stuff like that. What industry do I work in? Power generation. Excuse me. Power generation, mate. So I design control panels for basically all forms of power generation. So diesel generators, hydro turbines, main supplies like switchgear control, that sort of thing. Then we also design and manufacture LV switchgear. Right, so let me get back to this. At entry, so I need to add in the what was it called again? Item ready. So if an item's ready, let me just run that one more time just to get my bearings. So I'm not looking at the item ready at all yet. At entry, when we're at entry, we turn off the conveyor. But I should be starting the next conveyor, the buffer conveyor. Okay, so let's have a look at this then. Let me change this up. Let me go offline. I don't want that to be at entry. I want that to be item ready, but I think I want it normally closed because it seems to be it's true when there's nothing there. So when there's something there, that's going to close. Turn on the entry conveyor. The next one can be the next line down. I think you guys can see that, yeah. At entry, was it called? At entry, I want that normally closed. And we can bring in... I'm still getting used to the Siemens software. I'm not a Siemens professional or a Siemens expert by any means. But I've been having a bit of a practice. I've been having a go with some of the scenes in Factory IO. So I'm getting there. I'm slowly but surely. Oh, kidney stones. Oh, sorry to hear that, Doc Master. I've heard they're pretty bad. I'm fairly sure at one point I had a kidney stone or something. I was in crazy amounts of pain, but it passed, so I was alright in the end. Tool, you're an automation engineer for blast furnaces and steel plants. That sounds cool. That sounds like a really cool job. I bet it's hard work though. I want to be like you. Give me a piece of advice, please. Try getting an apprenticeship. That's the #1 way, in my opinion, how to get into the industry. If you're too old for an apprenticeship, then go down the maintenance route. Try and get a job at a maintenance company or something like that. That would be the two pieces of advice I would give. Work hard, try your best, learn as much as you can. Yeah. Yeah, if everyone could start tapping away at the screen and reposting all that good stuff, that would be really appreciated. Thank you. Right, let me go online with that and download. I think it compiles itself. Seems to do anyway. Load that. The addresses shouldn't be yellow. I don't know why they're yellow, because that one isn't. Is that because I haven't compiled them yet? Possibly. I don't know why they're yellow. Like I say, I'm no Siemens expert, but it did seem to be working. So, yeah. Have I tried structured text programming, or what do I prefer? I do structured text programming. I tend to use structured text wherever I need to do some sort of calculation or math or something like that. Where I'm doing work with data. Because ladder logic's not so good for that. I need to latch it in. Okay. Right. We're just going to build this slowly because I'm not fully sure of how Factory IO sensors and stuff work yet. Yo Hertz, thank you, mate. I really appreciate that. They are repeated. They're definitely not repeated because I haven't... This is the only... This is the only program I've got running. Oh, you work for Train. So I know about Train, and the only reason I do is because I watch Professor Butler's videos. He did like a mad long video the other day explaining like the history of like Train air handler units or something. I was well interested. I watched it from start to finish. It was great. A really good video. Lianu, I think. Sorry if I butchered your name. Thank you for the follow, mate. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who's reposted as well. Duplicate IO addresses. There are no other... Like, there's this function that's part of the... so this is all to do with Factory IO. You need... When you have Factory IO and you use PLC sim... So I've got no hardware here, so this is all done in software. You need to add this function in. And they give you the template. You just download the template. Zachary, thank you for the follow, mate. Really appreciate it. So I'm not sure why they're yellow. I'm just going to keep going. It seemed to be working. All I need to do is latch up probably both of those. I'm still getting used to the software, like I say. There we go. And I've put a contact in there. Drag that up there. Okay. So this is going to be entry conveyor. I'm not fully sure how the auto like populating the tags works either. It doesn't seem to do it first time. I have to add like a letter and then delete it out. You have the I and Q addresses overlapped. Let me show you the tags. Is it because of these tags here? See, those come in as part of the factory IO thing. So I wonder if I delete them, will it break everything? I'll try it. Maybe you're obviously right. Like I say, I don't know Siemens that well. But tag 1, 2, and 3, that was already in the template file. So Matt, you're funny. Yeah, man, ask away. That's great. I've missed loads of comments. Sorry. I and Q can be overlapped in Siemens. Yeah, right, okay, yeah, it's allowed. Right. So I think that obviously was the issue. They are no longer yellow now, but I feel like that tag 1, 2, and 3 was probably doing something in this function. So I'm not sure if I'd end up breaking it. Let me load that back in. I'm not sure if I did that or not. Rails, thank you for sharing. Really appreciate that, mate. Ayob, thank you for tapping the screen. Really appreciate it. Matt, thank you for the follow as well. Best thing for first job. Do you use Studio? I don't use Studio 5000, mate. I don't work with Alan Bradley. But my main PLCs that I work with are Mitsubishi and Schneider. So the Siemens stuff's pretty new to me still. I'm still learning it. I did learn it like 10 plus years ago, but I didn't really go into any great detail. That was mostly through education that I learned it. I didn't... Right, okay, I'm getting distracted. I've not finished what I was doing. So when we want to stop the entry conveyor is when we've got an item ready, we start the entry conveyor. When we've got something at entry, I'm thinking. How does the auto thing work? At entry. And we want that to be a normally open, I'm thinking. So when we get to the buffer conveyor, we want to latch that up. I have to put a contact in first. Knut, thank you for saying that, mate. I thought they were doing something. I didn't put them in, so I'm not sure why they were there. They're just in the tag list. Yeah, I don't know why they were there. I just assumed they were doing something, so I left them. But when I've imported the tag list from Factory IO, it brought in all these item ready at entry, all them sort of tags. Try to use SCL. I'm just about just about getting used to ladder in Siemens. Never mind SCL. I'll do it in baby steps. How do you catch up? There's no real way other than to watch the full live stream on YouTube, maybe tomorrow or the day after. So whenever I've finished the live streams, I tend to put them on there. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Logical Controls. Thabo, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. Okay, so at exit, I want this one to be... No, I want this to be buffer conveyor. Jesus, can't spell. Buffer conveyor. And then I want to delatch with at exit. I still don't get this. Alright, at exit. Let's just run that for now. I might need that one to be normally open. Let's download it, see if it works. Thabo, welcome, mate. How's the Zimbabwe? You do analog controls. Can you teach feedback controls? I'm just doing this Factory IO scene at the minute, mate. But maybe we can do a bit of analog soon, yeah. Thank you for the follow. Sorry if I've butchered your name. Really appreciate it. Okay, so I think we're downloaded. Did I download it? Let me do it again because I'm getting distracted and I'm ended up forgetting where I'm at. Guys, thank you for the follows. I really appreciate that. How's everyone doing tonight? Load this. Use that. Okay. Right, finish. We have definitely loaded it now. Put this into run. See how we're getting on. So the first box comes in. I feel like I need to... Do I need to push this further or something? Because it's obviously not got onto the second roller. Yeah, I think it looks like it. So maybe we never maybe we never stop the entry conveyor. We just keep that going all the time. Let's go for that. Let's go for that. So let's stop that. Let's never stop the entry conveyor. I feel like does Siemens have like a always on bit? Like in Mitsubishi you have certain system bits like always on, always off, first scan, that sort of thing. Or can I just not have anything in there? I don't know if that'd work. Like I say guys, anyone who's new here, I know I've got 90 something people in here. I'm not used to Siemens. Siemens is not the software I'm an expert in. I much prefer, well, I wouldn't say prefer because I just don't know Siemens enough yet, but the usual software I use is Mitsubishi GX Works 3 and also some of the Schneider softwares as well. You can make an always on bit with memory. Yeah, I guess I can just do a normally closed and just never use the memory bit. Yeah, that makes sense. But it does look like this is going to work anyway. Did I do that there? Did I just compile that or did that work? Yeah, we got it now, we got it. So we might need to do a little bit down at the end because I think this conveyor will stop once we get here. Ah, see, there's the problem though. If you have it always on, you're going to start crashing and you don't want to crash. But also at the same time, we want the exit to keep going so these boxes get pushed off the edge. Eventually, we probably will push through if I just left it here. But that's not the way you run a factory, so you don't want to be doing something like that. Okay, let's rethink this. Let me restart this. Get my bearings. So we don't want it to always run because we're going to end up crashing. I mean, to be fair, you could just have all of them run all the time and they'll just all fall off, but that's not... I don't think that's the point of this scene, to just have them all run. Mrs. Logical Controls, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So we want to do it one by one is what I'm thinking. One by one. So we have the first one come in. Then that moves to the at entry. The second one will come in behind it. And then we can push again. So if we're at entry, we want to stop it because we don't want them to keep continuously coming in. Like at the minute, the second this box gets out of this like hatch line, you see the next one comes in. So you don't want it to just run continuously by the looks of it. I mean, eventually that is going to fall off the edge. Little Job, thank you to follow. It's not free, buddy. It's not free, no. What do you want to achieve on the program? So that, as far as I'm aware, there's no objectives. It doesn't give you any objectives anywhere. But you kind of want it to work. And, you know, visually, this doesn't look good, does it? With all these boxes pushing against each other. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't, it's not the way to do it. So I think in what we're going to do, so add safety light curtain with muting sensors. I'm going to try and do it without adding anything. Because this is a pre-defined scene. I've not made this. This is one of their, you know, template scenes. But I want to do it right. Why is there arrows on there? Or is that just showing you the direction? Okay, so let's rethink this. Let's rethink this. If we get if we have an item ready, we want to start the conveyor. We want to latch that up until we get to at entry, where we'll stop. Once we've done that, so maybe we do a sequence. Maybe we just sequence through it. I'm thinking that's maybe the way to go now. Once we get to at entry, the next box is going to come on. And it's going to push again. Okay. So then we can start the buffer. I almost feel like we just did this, but let me try again. Let me try again, because maybe I didn't think about it right. So, item ready. I'm gonna say not item ready. We're gonna latch up. I feel like this should work. Entry conveyor. Juha, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate that. Entry conveyor. Why are you not using SCL? I actually just prefer ladder, to be fair. I do work with SCL, but I only really work with that when I'm doing calculations or data manipulation or something like that. For actual logic, ladder's great. At exit. At entry. What is it? At entry, yes. So stop it at entry. So item ready starts the conveyor. The conveyor latches up. When we get to at entry, we stop it. But we need a way of restarting it again. Appreciate the follows, guys. Chappers, Alberto, SBU Designs, thank you. Really appreciate it, guys. And hopefully I've not missed anyone else. Okay, so I'm feeling like we just do it as a sequence. If we do it as a sequence, we can kind of make it do what we want then. So I think Siemens has the move command, doesn't it? Empty box. MOV. Move. There we go. Right, so let's bin this off. So if item's ready, we put a 1. Can you just do a 1? In, let's call this sequencer. Sequencer, if I can spell. I have to instantiate that, I think. Local temp. Let's do a global. I'm not sure how the locals and globals work in this software. Bytes fine, I think. MB0. Let's define that. And we want that to be an N. Is that right? What do I need to put in here? What's this red box for? See, yeah, timers is the other way to do it. I'm thinking sequencer at the minute, but timers might be the way to go. What do you put in? Oh, a memory bit. So I just put like M0 in here. Oh, no, yeah, M0. Percent M0, is it? No, that doesn't seem to like that. I'll just make one. I don't know. I'm still getting used to the software, guys. Bull. Oh, it likes that now. Okay. Why do you have to give a memory to a falling edge contact? So an item ready is when there's a box there. If we're in position 1 of the sequencer, let's entry conveyor. Let's get rid of this for a second. Comparison instructions, how do we do those? There we go. Equal to. So do I just do percent MB0? Is it before? I should really look at this stuff before I do it. Maybe it's like Mitsubishi where it's percent MB0 1. No? Bear Air, thank you for the follow. Willy Poo, Willy Poo, thank you for the follow. Elise, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it, guys. If you wait for buffer on, then call for next box at entry. I'm trying to figure. So what I'm trying to do at the moment is like a sequence type thing. What I'm not sure about is how you do that in Siemens. So if this was Mitsubishi, we'd do the equals comparison instruction. We would say what the first value to compare to, and that's normally like a register or something, and then the second value, which can be a constant or whatever. For Emmanuel, thank you for sharing the live, really appreciate that, buddy. However, I don't know enough about Siemens to be able to do that by the looks of it. I'm going to have to look at that off stream or something. Right, okay, let's just do the timers thing, because it'll probably be easier anyway. So, we will get there, guys, we will get there. Item ready. When there's an item ready, which is closed, then we're going to do buffer conveyor. And we'll do it, in fact, we won't do it directly, we'll do it for a timer now. So let me bring in a ton. Timer, I did see it there, timer operations, ton. We want it in here. And no, in fact, do we want a TOF? See, I can vaguely know how to do timers in Siemens. T-hash 3 seconds or something. But this is actually not even needed in this one. This is needed in the next bit. So if there's an item ready, buffer conveyor off. Buffer conveyor on. Oh no, tier portal. Have you tried FBD ladder? So much easier. I haven't. No, I haven't. I haven't really explored tier portal too hard just yet. Bade, Joe, thank you both for the follow. Really appreciate it. Timers don't solve your problems. So what I'm thinking with the timers is, what we had before is we got to a point where we got stuck, but we can get over that with a timer. I wanted to do a sequencer. I just don't know how to do it in tier portal. It's simple as that. I need to look into it a bit more. So we do at entry. I think it was at entry, wasn't it? And that wanted to be normally open. And then we wanted the latch in here. Contact first, I guess. Percent. No, it's buffer conveyor. That's what they call it. There we go. So that will allow us to start the buffer conveyor, stop it when we get to entry. But when we get to entry, that's when we can do a timer, just to get it over the line. In Siemens PLCs, you create timers using TON, TOF, TP instruction in LAD. Yes, mate. Yeah. I know how the timers work. It's the comparisons I don't at the minute. Kenny Wise, thank you for the heart me. Lil Chubb, thank you for the heart me. Really appreciate that, guys. Okay, so at entry. Yes, at entry. When that's closed. That's when we want... This is going to get messy. No, I don't want to do that. I want to... That's what I want to do. Then I want a contact on there. I want that to be... why is it called IEC timer? I don't like the name of that. Let's call this entry timer. That's entry timer dot Q. Is it dot Q? Yeah. We're just gonna basically push the box over slightly. I don't think we need to do any more than that. Let's just try that and see how it works. I'm someone who likes to just little by little put the code in, test it, do a bit more, test it, do a bit more, test it. You work much with Siemens safety PLCs? I haven't, mate. No, I barely ever work with Siemens PLCs at all. This is more of a learning opportunity for me than anything, to be fair. Akbar, thank you for the follow. I can't pronounce your second name. Thank you for the follow, mate. I really appreciate it. Why use ladder, not just function block diagram? I prefer ladder. I prefer ladder over most others. I use them all, but that is my preference. Okay, let's run that. I think I downloaded it. Right, it stops there a second and goes over the time. I haven't started. Oh, that second conveyor has started. Still not working great, is it? Still not working great. Kanyo, thank you for the follow. Sone, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it, guys. What kind of facilities have you worked in? I've only ever worked in manufacturing. So that is kind of what I do. I manufacture control panels and manufacture LV switchgear. So the factory side of things, that's really not my thing. Send it, yeah, man. So they're all crashing. What software is this? This is Siemens Tier Portal. This is the Siemens PLC programming software and HMI programming software. This software is Factory IO, which is like a simulation software for like simulating factories and that sort of thing. The conveyor belt thing is not my forte whatsoever. The tank ones are much better with. Ladder's easy for electricians. Yeah, I mean, I like ladder for doing logic and that sort of thing. I like function block diagram for doing PIDs and that sort of thing. And I like using structured text for doing scaling calculations, that sort of thing. What's more complex to program, BMS or PLC? I don't know, mate. I don't work in BMS. I've never really worked in BMS either. MHD, thank you to follow. RosV, thank you to follow. Desert Eagle, thank you to follow. Sorry, I missed the response. Have you worked with Siemens? I haven't, Josh. No, I haven't. I don't really work with Siemens at all. So this is as much a learning experience for me as it is for some others in here. At entry needs to stop. Add a timer added to hold back the box. You don't get the opportunity to hold back the box. So the minute your box has left this white box here, this white hatch, that's when the next box comes in. So you don't get the choice. The next box is coming in regardless. What I am thinking though is, so what the plan was just then was when the box comes in, the first box comes in, the conveyor's on. The conveyor stops when we get to at entry. The next box will have formed by then. But what I could then do is, just for a short period of time, just push that first box over, stop the conveyor again, to allow time for this one to shift down. That didn't really work. Let me just run that again. It didn't really work like that. No, because I kind of stopped halfway over, because I hadn't started this second conveyor yet. Let me just try that again. See, the second conveyor stopped there when I got to at entry. But the second, I'm not even calling the second conveyor. Oh, the buffer conveyor, that is. Hang on a minute. Entry conveyor. I think I might have just put the wrong thing in. South Claws, thank you for the follow, really appreciate that. Sequential control, like pallets following each other using step sequence. That's what I was going to go down. I was going to go down the sequencing route, but I can't work out how to do comparisons in Siemens just yet. At least not in stream anyway. The problem with doing that, Cam, is latching basically allowing them all to go through, is they all end up crashing into each other at the end. We did try that. Right, so that stopped. That's kind of what I want for that section. And then the timer did its thing. There we go. I just had the wrong conveyor set. But it's going to crash here, I think. When it. Oh no, we got it working. That's it. Yeah. So it is kind of waiting. They're not all crashing into each other now. Ah, it's easy, isn't it? It's easy, lads. I don't know what we were struggling about. Your programming is fine. Must be a glitch. Yeah, it was me having the wrong tag. So I had, instead of entry conveyor, I just had the buffer conveyor there. It was a me problem. How you hate ladder? I mean, yeah, it's personal preference. I guess I've come from an electrical background. I was a test engineer for like 7 years, just doing electrical testing and that sort of thing. And I was doing sort of software as well, but my main was electrical. So when you've got an electrical background, you're just gonna prefer ladder. If you come from like a computer software background or computer science background, something like that, I guess your preference is going to be structured text. And I know a lot of process control guys use function block diagram. Appreciate that, Kenny. Appreciate that. Told you, timers work. Yeah, no, I believed you, Ayo. I wanted to go down the sequencing route, but never mind. Add empty box, right, equals. It will then give you a place to put the tags. Ah, is that how you do it, J-Boz? Appreciate that, mate. Let me just try that. So as long as it just says equals, if I click out of this now, you're right. That's how you do it, yeah. See, there's little things like that I just don't know in Tia Portal. I just don't use the software enough to be able to, you know, just know that instinctively. If it was Mitsubishi, like, which is what I'm used to, if I put the empty box in again, I'll just find it. You kind of do it all in the line, so it's equals, and then it's, you know, D0 is like a memory register, and you'd put like K2 for like a constant number 2. So that's how you do it in that. But you know, all these things have their own little differences and quirks. But PLC programming in general is the same the whole way across. Factory I/O looks quite good. I need to learn this stuff. I do software that integrates with PLCs. Yeah, Factory I/O is awesome. It's just very expensive. If you were to, you know, go down the correct routes and purchase a license and stuff, it's pretty pricey. Time is the solution to many problems. Yeah, you're not wrong, mate. You're not wrong. But timers is like a open loop control type thing. It's always better if you can get feedback. So rather than do something for X amount of seconds, you do something until you hit the net. You know, for example, if we said this box needs to run for 10 seconds, well, it might not actually get to the end of the conveyor in 10 seconds. It's better to say run until that goes from high to low, you know, from true to false. Then you know the box has gone off. So it's going to go true. I think there's a little LED on there. You know, when that yellow lamp comes on, that's when you know it's gone off the edge. That yellow LED. I think you can see that. Yeah. Yeah, you understand self-close, you understand. Does Factorio have FBD? So Factorio is very different to Factory I/O. Factorio is a game, a very good game actually. I do like that game. This is Factory I/O, but there is no programming in Factory I/O. The programming is done in Tia Portal, which is the Siemens PLC software. I'm then using PLC Sim, which is a simulator, to basically simulate the PLC. I don't have I don't have a PLC here. I could, rather than use PLC Sim, I could have my Siemens PLC next to me, hooked up to my PC, and I could have that talk to Factory I/O instead as actual hardware. But I don't need to do that. I just run PLC Sim, so I've got simulated PLC, and that's talking to Factory I/O. So this software here, this Factory I/O, has no programming inside it. Is exit sensor doing anything? No. Turns out you don't need it. We've just got we're not even doing anything with the buffer conveyor. That's just running all the time. It's just the entry conveyor that we're controlling. And that's basically just to give a little bit of time for this one to go off the edge. You know, see this here? It's just allowing a bit of time for them to go through. I've missed a few followers there, guys. Quite a few by the looks of it. Let me go back up. I don't want to miss anyone. Jesus, how far back did we go? Patricio, thank you for the follow. Kanyo, thank you for the follow. Sone95, thank you for the follow. Bahati, thank you for the follow. The Engineer, thank you, mate. I really, really appreciate that. Welcome back, Kyle. Niall Bass, thank you for the follow. MHD, thank you to follow. Ros V, I think I did some of these. I definitely. South Claus, thank you to follow, buddy. Josello, Franco, Perco, I think. Franco, another Franco, thank you. I'm getting there. Justin, U-Style, Daniel Torres, Unknown, Aim, Jonas, Ryan. It's gone mad. Jopo. Elijah, I think, am I there? Josu, I think. And Louis Fix, thank you, really appreciate that. The Engineer, thank you, mate, really, really appreciate them boxing gloves. Rob Van Gills, thank you for the rose as well. Really appreciate that, guys. Yeah, so we're just done. We just managed to get that one working. It works fine. I would prefer that we used all the feedbacks and we used the sequencer. But it's fine for now. It'll do the job. Give it more speed. I don't know if you can speed it up, mate. Oh, you can. Am I going to crash my computer doing this, though? To be fair, this is running in a VM. This isn't even on my computer. I mean, we're at 4 times speed there, and it seems to still be working well. I'll call that a win. Add a VFD and run the motor 350 Hz. I don't know this software all that well, to be fair, mate. I'm still learning the factory I/O. I'm still learning Siemens. I only just got them recently. Once I've worked out all the quirks and the ins and outs, maybe we can have a play and build our own little factories. What industry do I work in? I work in power generation, mate. So I work basically designing control panels for diesel generators, hydro turbines. I do power management on like hybrid systems. So if you've got multiple diesel generators, maybe a hydro turbine, a couple of solar inverters, a battery energy storage system, a main supply. I'm the guy that manages all that, so they all share. You're minimizing the amount of diesel that you're using, you're maximizing the amount of renewables that you're using. So, you know, do the work for like factories and data centers, healthcare, military, yeah, all sorts. Yeah, the Engineer, she's made a new account now, so yeah. she's not going under a personal one anymore. It's not a game, no, it's a legit software. It is a legit software. You can like actually build massive factories and stuff. There's mad videos on YouTube and stuff of people doing that. Anyway, so we've done that scene. I'd call that a win. They have like, these are inbuilt scenes, so they've got like, I don't know if you can see all that. There's some real big ones. I'm still learning Tier Portal, so I don't want to go too heavy into it. Like that one there, I'm going to do that one. I'll do it off stream first. I will make sure I'm able to do it fairly easily. That's a tank with PIDs. Like, I'll show you this one because I've already done this one. But there was no real rhyme or reason to it. It never, like, there's no objectives. I like it, you know, because it's not a game, I guess. But there are like no objectives to, you know, if you get it to always stay at, you know, I don't know, 170 millimeters in height and get it to maintain that, you know, you get a gold star or something. I would prefer it like that. Gives you a bit of a objective to go at. But as it stands, yeah. I wonder if them buttons actually do anything. No, you have to program them. So yeah, it's got all different scenes and stuff in it, where you can basically use Tier Portal, if you have Tier Portal and PLC Sim, to basically yeah, automate this. We are happy you're going the Siemens route. It's the most popular. I'm obviously, you know, Mitsubishi isn't the most popular PLC. That's the one I know and love. Schneider, again, you know, they're getting there, but they're not very popular in the world of automation. So if I want to help other people a bit more than I am now, I'm going to have to learn Siemens and you know, do videos and stuff like that on that. Yeah, here, industrial automation as well. Nice. Danimal, I think. What sort of industry do you work in? What software is this? This is Factory I/O, buddy. Many of us probably have tier with some bonus firewall rules. AB most popular in States. Yes, mate, it is. Siemens is definitely the most popular in Europe. AB is definitely the most popular in the United States. However, they are both pretty big, you know, in both places. Beckhoff. I don't work with Beckhoff, mate. I had 1 day training with a guy from Beckhoff. I didn't really think anything of it, to be fair. Under, thank you to follow. Does Zigo or ABT? I'm not sure what you're asking there, buddy. I'm not sure what either of them things are. The Ghost, thank you to follow. Can I use CodeSys with Factory.io? That's a good question. I'm not sure. So, there's a number of drivers. You guys can't see that. Let me see if I can... there we go. You can see that, okay. There's a number of drivers. Alan Bradley's. SLC 5s, Micrologics, Auto MGen server, no idea what that is. Let me know if you know. Control IO, again I'm not entirely sure what that is. You can do it with Modbus TCP, so as long as your PLC can do Modbus TCP, you'll be able to do it. OPC as well. The thing is though, you will need hardware for doing those. All these drivers, I believe, will require hardware, so you'll require a PLC connected to computer. The benefit of doing it with Siemens is they've got this one down here, where you can use PLC sim, so you don't need any hardware. You can even do it with a logo by the looks of it. I've not used any of the others, I'll be honest. I've only recently just got into the Factory.io thing. So, yeah, that's the one I'm using in it, PLC sim. What does TCP stand for? I've absolutely no idea. I don't know, but it's like a IT thing. TCP/IP. I don't know. Google it, mate. Google it. I don't know. I wanted to learn PLC and controls, etc. I'm starting a panel building company. I want to. Nice, Kelly. Yeah, that's what I do. Panel building. Yeah, it's awesome. There is Modbus testing software to send Modbus TCP from your laptop. Yeah, you could maybe you could use something like Modscan 32 or something like that. Is it difficult to set up? PLC sim isn't that difficult, no. You do have to, so if you want to use PLC sim, you have to go on Factory.io's website and download their template. And the reason you've got to do that is because there's a lot of stuff going on in the background. It's almost, I don't know if it's like a back door or something they're opening, but basically in their template, they've got this already predefined function block. Or it's a function actually, it's an FC, not an FCB or whatever they call them in Siemens. But this is doing something in the background to get it to work with Factory.io. This isn't something I've put in, this is in the actual template that you download. Once you put this in, it's a case of running PLC sim, which I've got there. And that's easy to do. That's literally a case of going to online simulation, start simulation. And once you've got that going, then so you picked PLC sim. It then brings up a little box here with like IO on it. I don't know if you can see down there. There's a little button here. That basically allows you to import all these tags in a format that Tia will like, and then I can just import it into Tia Portal, and that's basically what we did. Yeah. So no, it's not difficult to set up. If you don't need you don't need hardware if you run Mitsubishi GXWorks 3. It has a built-in sim. It does have, yeah, no, you're right. I think my last live stream I did all that, but it doesn't. Factory.io doesn't have a driver for. That's a good point though. Does Modbus TCP still work in simulation mode in GXWorks? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. If it does, if you can run GXWorks 3 in simulation mode and the Modbus stuff still works, then you probably could just select Modbus TCP and get a Mitsubishi PLC to work. We use Hitachi and WEG PLCs. Oh, okay. Where are you from, Jake? Whereabouts in the world are you? I've never seen a Hitachi PLC before. I've heard of WEG, yeah, but I've never heard of a Hitachi one. Uh, yeah, I do. I used to do control wiring for power company here in the States years ago. I just don't know a lot of the programming. Ah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, as a panel builder, you don't necessarily have to do any programming. If you're just doing pure panel build, you know, the guys that you're contracting for, they'll do the programming. Have I worked with Omron PLC? I haven't, mate. No, haven't. I know that they like in my local area, like where I live in the UK, there are a few companies who use Omron PLCs for their machines. Oh, Northern Ireland. Ah, okay. I see. I didn't know that. Yeah, I've definitely heard of the WEG VSDs and the motors and stuff. I didn't know they did PLCs, to be fair, but obviously maybe that's a new thing. Wayne Malcolm, thank you to follow. Really appreciate it. Do I use CodeSys? I do use CodeSys every so often. Yeah, yeah. I mostly used to do. I don't know if anyone's used Schneider EcoStruxure Machine Expert. That uses CodeSys in the background. That's pretty good. Load of dots. Thank you to follow. Really appreciate it. Let's do another. Another scene. I'll have to set it up though. I've already done this scene, so I won't bother doing this one again. Let's try another one. Maybe another easy one, because I don't want to get too deep into it. An assembler. Let's try this one. And I'll also probably need to maximize. Yeah. Okay, so this is a new scene now. I don't know what I need to do. That's the other thing. It doesn't really tell you what you need to do, so you kind of have to work out how the thing's supposed to work to then get it to work. Oh, you've just been to a breakdown with an Omron. As far as I'm aware, the Omrons are alright. I've never heard otherwise. Like I say, I've never used one myself, but as far as I'm aware, they're okay. The company you're going to be doing builds for, you're going to offer programming. Oh, okay, fair enough. Oh, so you're trying to learn it now then, are you? Turned out he doesn't know the difference between upload and download. Oh no. Oh dear. Is this software I'm using free? It isn't free, mate. No, this is a licensed software. So we've got an emergency stop. We've got a start button, reset button, stop button. We've got a selector switch for auto and manual, and we have a counter. What else do we have? Grab item detected. Move Z, moving Z. Yeah, that's an actuator. That's feedback, I guess, a sensor. Actuator to grab. Item detected is another sensor. I mean, this seems kind of complicated for for someone who was only going to be streaming for another hour or so. Yeah, there's a lot to this. I mean, I guess we'll just start and keep going as we need to. LEDs emitter, bases emitter. So do I guess I have to assemble. Oh, lid, sorry, not LED. I have to assemble a lid on a base. Lid at place. Lids conveyor, bases conveyor, part leaving. There's a lot of shit going on here. There's some more I/O down here. What's that? Position raise lids. Position at limit lids. I guess we'll just crack on and see what we can do. But first, I need to set up the I/O. Yeah, there's a lot of I/O here. This isn't going to be a 2-minute job. I probably won't get this finished. Do we start it if we haven't finished it? If we can't finish it, I'm not sure. Not sure what to do about that. What is the idea behind the software? PLC learning. Yeah, that's basically it, I think. But also, a step further than that is you can build things in this software. So it isn't just the scenes. Let me see if I can show you this. Over on the side here, there's an absolute ton of objects that you can put. You can build your own conveyor lines and stuff. So while this scene, that I'm looking at now is kind of specific to a certain type of job, there's no reason you can't build your own scene and put all, if you've got an actual project on the go in real life, you could almost build a lot of it in here, pre-test all your software, write your software, test it all before you've actually built anything. So you could save a whole boatload of headaches and money in any rework by almost pre-commissioning. Please, which software is this? This is called Factory IO. No program on it when I got there. I like the orange stuff. That was at an MOD site. 27-year-old PLC. So yeah, the old Japanese PLCs, they're just built to last. So I've seen some Mitsubishi PLCs that have been on site for like over 30 years, and they're still just, you know, beavering away doing what they do. But people will replace them because they get worried, don't they? They get scared that, you know, we haven't got the software anymore. You know, it was built on pre-Windows 95, you know, OSs and stuff like that. It'd be nice if they said how it was supposed to function. Yeah, that's my problem with this software, is it doesn't tell you how, you know, what you're supposed to do. I'm kind of guessing. I mean, I'll be honest, I feel like this one's going to take longer than the time I've got to do. I will just start it anyway, sorry. Start it, yeah, okay, we'll get into it. We won't finish it though, I know we won't. What software is this? Is it separate to TIA Portal? It is separate, yeah. So this is called Factory IO. This simulation software you're seeing, that's Factory IO. TIA Portal is a completely separate software. That's for doing the programming. But then Factory IO in the middle is PLC Sim. So I can simulate the PLC. Factory IO will talk to that simulated PLC, and you'll be able to see, you know, the simulation in action. Can it simulate thermodynamic values like pressure, flow, temperature? Honestly, mate, I'm not sure. I'm not no expert on Factory IO. I've only done a handful of scenes myself, so I'm no expert. User and a load of numbers, thank you for the follow. Bubbu, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. Is it cheap, the engineer? I assumed it was very expensive. Assumed. What do I think of Ferrag? I'm not sure what that is, buddy. Yeah, I don't know. Right, let's get into it. Let's start. I probably want a new project. While I don't know what it's going to show, so what I'll do is I'll just hide it for a second while I set up the new project, because yeah, I don't know what it's going to ask me to. I always get a little bit worried when you have to start dealing with IP addresses and stuff. I don't want to expose myself. 1 second. So I need the template. So when you're doing Factory IO and you're using PLC Sim, you need to download the template off their website, off the Factory IO website, because it has in it a little function that basically makes the background stuff work. Right, so this is the template. Let me just do a quick save as, and then we can move on. So I'll bring it back up in 1 second. 1 second. Right, let me save it in there. Save. Okay, so I'll bring it back. Right, so we've got basically a fresh program now. It just has that function that I was talking about. This is what Factory IO put in. They're obviously a German company because a lot of it's in German. Are your simulators in the workspace of the PLC on your bio? I want to try simulating. They're not, mate. They're not. This software is called TIA Portal. This software is called Factory IO. That's about all you need to know. Just Google it. They're not free though. Neither of these are free. Just so you know. Dukon10, I think. Thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. So you need TIA Portal on top of Factory IO, which both are not easy to get. Correct. Yes. Either you need TIA Portal or you need any one of these, you know, softwares. If you've got Allen Bradley PLC, you're probably pretty good. You know, you're alright. Advanced Tech, I'm not entirely sure what that is. If you have a PLC capable of Modbus TCP, you'll be able to get it working. But these are all hardware. You do need, a PLC, physical PLC, to get any of these to work. Whereas the bottom one, PLC Sim, which is what I'm using, I don't. Why are you still designing with screw terminals, not pushing? There's no real reason. It's just something we've always done. They're cheap. Pushing terminals in general are more expensive. And there's no reason to change. Yeah, there is no reason. We've never had an issue ever. Not a single issue with a screw terminal. So that, like, I know the pushing terminals, like the hype and oh they're better and all this. If you've never had a problem, why would you change? How connect factory out to PLC and HMI using local area network? You need to run PLC sim, mate, if you've got that. Actual hardware, I've not done it yet myself. It's cheaper if you don't get it direct. It's about 650, 700 direct. I've had mine from the same place as you. Yeah. The 7 C's. Yeah, that's all I'll say on that one. Boo boo, thank you for the rose. Really appreciate it. Let me get started in this because I'm getting carried away talking again. Let's bin that off. I need to bring in. Right, the next thing I need to do is bring in the I/O. So I need to save that. I don't think I'll show anything. For anyone who doesn't know, my real name is Daz. There we go. I don't need to hide that now. That is the one. Automation. Factory I/O. That's the one. So what I'm doing here is I've just exported all of this I/O information to a file. Then I can go into the PLC tags in tier portal. Them tags 1, 2, 3 are there again. Like I say, they were in the actual template. I'm not sure why. Now I can import, and I can find that file that I just saved, and it should bring in all my tags for me. Where to work with PLC skill? Anywhere that has some level of automation or offers automation services. Rally Rider, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. I won't tell, I promise. I mean, it's not a secret. I just there's some strange people on the internet, and you just got to be careful with this sort of stuff. Yeah. Okay. There's all my tags. How do I even go about starting this? Because it's such a big system. I just need to chip. Like, here's a word of advice. If you're not a confident programmer or anything like that, if you've seen a system like this, don't like let it overbear you. There's a lot of I/O here. There's a lot of things to control, but start off small. Start off with the most basic thing you can think of, and just build on it in small chunks, little chunks here and there. So the first thing I'm thinking, I know I've got all of this I/O. The first thing I want that conveyor, them 2 conveyors to run. I'm not entirely sure how this system needs to work yet. If I press play, we'll just see. It brings in the parts already. The conveyors aren't running though. So let's just start with the easiest thing. Get the conveyors running. If I don't even want to go as far as to get the conveyors to stop. I just want them to run and see what happens when it hits there. When that part hits there, what do we then need to look at next? Yeah, I mean, I don't know how the machine works, and it doesn't tell you how the machine works, so you kind of have to work it out yourself. However, I know I've got some conveyor motors somewhere. In here somewhere will be some motors. Can't actually see them at the minute. Are they hidden underneath? There they are. How's the best to zoom in down there? There's like a mode where you can walk around a machine, first person camera. So this is me walking around the machine. And you can see, under here, there's 2 motors. Can you see that? One there, one there. So we're just going to start off, first of all, getting them running. Let me go back to that camera, was it? There we go. Right, okay. Tags. We've got an awful lot of tags, but it'll be an output. So lids conveyor, that's one I want. Bases conveyor, that's the other one. So lids conveyor and bases conveyor, let's just start by getting them running. This is in SCL, which I don't want. Like I said, I need to learn the basics of Siemens before I start diving into SCL. Why does Siemens call it SCL, by the way? Why are they the only person in the world not to call it structured text? I was the same. I used to think it was wizardry how stuff worked, but it's lots of IOs and a program. That's it, mate. Yeah, you're absolutely right. What's this? I'm doing a bit of factory IO and tier portal. Yes, the blue motors. Yeah, good. Matty, thank you for the follow, mate. Really appreciate that. Okay, so I'm just going to start off. Conveyor. What was it called again? Lids conveyor. Let's just get them running. That, like, start as basic as possible. The other one was called something conveyor. Basis conveyor, was it? Basis conveyor. There we are. Start that. Go online. Download that quickly. Do I need to... Oh, no, I don't. I was going to say, do I need to start PLC sim again? But I think it still works. Not sure what that's asking me there. I don't know tier port enough. Error downloading. Okay, maybe we do need to restart PLC sim. Let's turn that one off. Stop that. I don't want to save. I don't really care. Let's compile this. Make sure we've got no errors. We've got no errors. Go to online, simulation, start. It's grayed out. We go offline. I don't know what's going on. Simulation, start. There we go. It's going to open PLC sim. It's going to fire that up. And there we go. Yeah, need to start sim. Cheers, the engineer. I should read chat as well as just babble on, but I can't do both at the same time. Compile first and start sim. Yeah, I'm on it. I'm on it. FBD is much more intuitive than ladder and statement list. It's personal preference, mate. To some people it is, to some people it isn't. There's some people that can read structured text like they're reading, you know, I don't know, a kid's book. Do I have a YouTube channel? I do. If you look in my bio, I have a link tree that shows all my social media. I'll be uploading this entire live stream to YouTube tomorrow or the day after. Depends when I get time to do it. So if you missed anything from tonight and you want to see, it should be going up there. Why is this not doing a lot? I feel like I've crashed. Ladder is for us electricians and maintenance. That's it, yeah. So if you come from an electrical background, ladder is gonna it's gonna make more sense to you than the other languages. If you come from a computer science background, structured text is probably gonna make more sense to you than the graphical languages. Function block diagram. If you come from like an electronics background, you did like digital electronics, AND gates, OR gates, NAND gates, NOT gates, all that sort of thing. Why are we not working? PLC sim. It's kind of on a go slow. Yeah, it just depends what your background is, I think, in my personal opinion. For a beginner, can you explain ladder and what others are out there and how they compare? Right, I'm having trouble here. Why are we not working? Is my PLC sim running? Reset. Something didn't work right. I'll come back to that question in a second. El Mendez, thank you for the follow. Moon, thank you for the follow. Powering on. We're powering on. We're good. Can we now go... Right, simulation start. It's orange at the minute. You guys can't fully see that. I do apologise. Change PG PC setting. I don't think it's that. I don't normally have to do much to get it to run. But it's just not happy at the minute. Rami, thank you for the follow. Osmar, thank you for the follow. Ladder ideas to... yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's empty. 1 second. No, it's still not happy with something because I've got a little circle. I might just need to restart it. Ladder idea is to make PLC programs under. That could be controversial. Controversial. Yeah, so let me go back to it then. Explain ladder logic. So ladder logic works in a very similar way to actual electrical relays, contactors, that sort of thing, physical timers. So if you come from like an electrical background, it's very easy, or it's at least much easier to get into ladder logic, which is programming. Electricians and electrical engineers and whatnot, they're not famous programmers. You know, we're not building applications for your iPhone. We're doing logic, and we're doing data manipulation and stuff like that. Why is this could not be started? I might need to shut this down a second. Hang on, let's chat a minute while I restart this. So yeah, ladder logic is very much easier for electrical engineers and electricians and stuff to get into than some of the other languages. I'm not saying it's possible. I know a lot of electricians and a lot of electrical engineers who use structured text and only that. I just need to fire up tier portal again. Function block diagram. So if you've ever done digital electronics with AND gates and OR gates and that sort of thing, that's how function block diagram works. You don't, you know, there are more complicated and advanced functions than that, but the basics of function block diagrams is AND gates, OR gates, NOT gates, NAND gates. You can still use timers and stuff like that. Is that like Verilog? I think it's similar, Adam. I think it's similar. I don't know Verilog myself, but I believe that's like a digital electronics type language. Is Verilog for doing FPGAs? Structured text. So structured text is more of a recent language. I say recent, it's probably still over 20 years old. But that's kind of where people who come from a computer science background, Python, C#, C, C++, Java, all them sort of languages, text-based languages, that's where people from those sort of backgrounds gravitate towards, because structured text is a textual-based language, not a graphical-based language. Let me see if this fires up now. What do I think of Beckhoff TwinCat? I've not used it enough to think of anything. The one-day training I had with a guy from Beckhoff, I would say it was kind of okay. It was, yeah, alright, but I didn't really see too much. Structured text is like Linux for PCs. Or STL. Right, so yeah, I don't know if anyone answered my question earlier, but why does everyone call it ST or STL, but in Siemens they call it SCL? What's the difference? Does anyone know that? What have I missed there? If you have a mechanical background, you want to start with Siemens Lego. Ladder is the GOAT. I use it where I can, but change depending. Yeah, the engineer. That's exactly what I do. Yeah, you're 100% right with that. Ladder's my go-to, but that's, you know, purely because I'm from an electrical background. But I do use the others where necessary, because ladder's not the best for everything. Ladder's absolutely rubbish if you want to start doing scaling calculations, if you want to do basically any calculation really. It's just rubbish for it. So that's where structured text comes in. That's much better for it. Jake, thank you for the follow, buddy. Really appreciate that. Let me bring you back. I don't know if this is going to work yet. I've not tried it. Let me compile just quickly, make sure I've got no errors. I've not got any program, but I just want to get it working. Simulation, start. Okay, that. It's going to start a new instance, maybe. I've seemed to have broken it, and I don't really know Siemens enough to know why I've broken it. Do control engineers need to know multiple types of programming then? Not necessarily, no. Everything you can do in ladder, you can do in function block diagram. Everything you do in function block diagram, you can do in structured text. Everything you can do in structured text, you can do in ladder. The only difference is it's easier for some of the others than it, you know, it's easier for some than it is others. Like if you try to do everything in ladder, it could be a nightmare. If you try to do everything in structured text, it could be a nightmare. But the flip side to that is not every site will allow you to program in function block diagram. You know, their maintenance guys, they're guys who are going to look after the system, can only work in ladder, for example. Or their guys can only work in structured text. So that's the requirement. They say, you know, you can't programming in that language, it has to be this language because we can only support that. Structured text better for complex programs. My personal experience is any program that's been done in structured text is overcomplicated, and that just seems to be the way people who do purely structured text go. They way overcomplicate things. It just ends up being a nightmare. Not everyone, but that's definitely a lot of them that I've come across. Whereas ladder keeps it simple, but then again, so does function block diagram. It's personal preference. It's totally personal preference. And people argue about it for days and days and days. People will die on certain hills. You're not going to convince them otherwise. Siemens call it STL because it's their old name for structured text. I think they call it SCL, don't they? Is it SCL or is it STL? Oh no, it is STL. Yeah. It's just like strange how they just call it different to what the rest of the world call it. 10 minutes here talking teaches more than a month in school. The only reason I'm talking so much is because I can't get this fucking software to work. But I don't know enough about the software to know why it's not working. I'm going to give it one more try and then I'll just call it a day then. Just work. If you DM me asking, do you do much panel building as well? Is it purely programming? I do design. I design panels, so I don't actually do the wiring side. You know, we have guys on the shop floor who do that. I design the panel. The guys will build it, then I'll program it, and do any factory testing or anything like that. Appreciate that, Katie. Yeah, if anyone's looks at my bio, I've got all my different social medias on there, YouTube being one of them. So if anyone's missed this live stream or missed the majority of this live stream, I'll put the full live stream on YouTube. My Instagram's on there, my Discord's on there. So the Discord I haven't really kicked off with yet. I've only just started it recently, but the idea is anything I do on stream, any files that I end up creating on stream, I'll put them in the Discord for people to download, to have a play with and that sort of thing. Not software, just the file. I'm not giving out free software or anything like that. But that's the idea behind the Discord. I haven't got it started off yet, but if you join the Discord, I'd really appreciate it. I think even Tia Portal doesn't want to command that machine. I don't know what's going on. I think I'm gonna call it a day there with the old Tia Portal. So I'm running this in a virtual machine at the minute. It's not actually on my computer. I haven't had any issues until now, so not sure what I've done. I've obviously on the sim on the left, click one of those and see the inputs outputs are in the sim. These are, hang on a minute, you can't see everything I can see. Are you talking about over here, the engineer? It's just not running. It's just not having it, mate. It's flashing green and yellow. It's flashing green and yellow. Then it doesn't like it and goes yellow. I don't know what I've done. I don't know what I've done. I've broken it. To be fair, it's probably not a bad thing because we wouldn't have finished that today anyway. But what I did want to do, so if I just run through what the idea in my head was going to be. Obviously, I don't know how this machine works. I've never done anything like that. You know, this isn't my kind of work. But how I would approach it is basically start off with baby steps. Get this conveyor motor running. Get that conveyor motor running. Just get the part that was on there shifting down to where it's supposed to be. And then once I've got that there, I would probably look into this sensor. So maybe when the part hits this sensor, we stop the conveyor. Then I would look to see what I need to do at that point. So this is the basis side. This is the lid side. I'm assuming this grabber here could drop down on top of that lid and grab it. Maybe pull it up, shift it across onto the base, back down, let go of it. I guess this is some sort of gate or something. We'd you know, move that somehow. Like I say, I don't know how this machine works. But this is how I'm thinking in my head. I would approach it in baby steps, just bite-sized chunks. Each time I would just stop, test it out, see how it worked. If it did work, great, I'll move on to the next thing. If it didn't, I would just keep get it sorted for tomorrow. I'll try, yeah. So I will be streaming tomorrow and probably Saturday and maybe even Sunday. I try and stick to the weekends, but I do sometimes get a bit ego like tonight. Well, the thing is, I could check YouTube, but then I'm kind of, I guess I get to see how it should work, but I don't want to spoil it for myself. Half of the battle, or half of the bit I've enjoyed, is trying to figure out, all right, what should I do next? How should I approach this next? And all this time, I'm just, building up more of a, yes, it's just not having it. Building up more of an idea of how the Siemens software works. Building up more of an idea of how Factory IO works. I don't want to spoil it. You know what I mean? I don't want to. Half of the battle is finding out how it should work. That's just how I feel about it anyway. I do get what you're saying though. It does make sense. Oh, this is different than Simmer Relay. Looks interesting. Yeah. This is Factory IO, Adam. Yeah. We've leveled up from Simmer Relay. I'm hearing Simmer Relay in my sleep, so I need someone else. I need a different software for people to ask me about. Why did you break it? That's why we can't have nice stuff. I know, mate. I'm so sorry. I'll get it fixed for tomorrow. I'll try my best anyway. What I'll do is I'll pre-set up the scene in the background. So I obviously restarted it, so it's not in here anymore. But I had all the tags in and stuff. I'll get it to a point where at least I can run it. And then we'll go through the programming and stuff. And obviously as well, while all that stuff's going on that I've just mentioned, we've got buttons and stuff on here that we're going to need to bring to the table. If that emergency stop gets pressed, we need to shut everything down. There's obviously a counter, so maybe for each part that leaves, so there's a part leaving sensor over here, we can increment the count one by one. Start button, stop button, manual control. I mean, I don't know what you could do about manual control. I'm going to assume, I don't know. Can you? I don't suppose you can move parts by hand. No. I'm not sure what you do with manual control. There's no buttons other than start and stop. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what it means. If you put it in manual, then you can start it and stop it. Yeah, I guess so. Which software are you using to display Factory IO and the live? None, mate. This is TikTok software. Did you do some work at... I guess you know me, Thomas. I don't know how you know me, but I did. Yes, I did. Appreciate you joining the live, though, Thomas. Which software are you... I've read that. Q for chat. Recommended me software for electrical wiring diagrams. I need it occasionally. Try... I mean, it's not really an electrical wiring software. Simmer Relay is pretty good for simulating wiring diagrams. SkyCAD, I've heard, is pretty good as a free software. There was another one, Tinkercad, I think. I've not tried those though. I use AutoCAD. I have to do this problem tomorrow. Ah, that's a nightmare. I'm sorry, Louis. I could have solved it for you if it all worked. Not that, no, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have had time to finish all this today. But it does look like an interesting one. I think like something we can bite our teeth into tomorrow. Oh, yes. I remember you, Tom. Yes, Thomas. Yeah, we did the BMS stuff together. I was talking about that the other night. Someone was asking me about BMS stuff. I was like, the only time I've ever come across BMS was a Schneider one, and I had to do some Modbus stuff with it. Yeah. Appreciate you joining, buddy. Yeah, appreciate you joining. Oh, you're doing it at work. You're doing it in real life. Is this for learning? I guess it is. It's a simulation software. You can build all your own even. Where's my parts bit gone? I did have a load of parts on the side. Ah, there we go. So you can build your own systems up, your own conveyor belts. There's all sorts of stuff. I don't even know what half of this stuff is. I'd have to pull it in and see. Like, what's this here? Some sort of pusher. Like a wheel conveyor belt sort of thing. you can, you can build up your own systems and then program it yourself. It's pretty, it's a pretty powerful software. However, I broke this earlier, so I can't I can't run it in Tier Portal anymore. I'll get that fixed for tomorrow. I think manual can turn on the conveyor, get the pallet out manual. Yeah, maybe. I've sort of taken that as, because there's no other buttons, there's no other way of controlling these. Auto, it just runs all the time. Manual, you can start it or stop it at will. Reset, I would guess resets the counter, and that's about it. Yeah. I'm looking for similar to ePlan but cheaper. I don't really know of any alternatives to ePlan other than AutoCAD Electrical, but I would say that's probably no cheaper. There's C Electrical, which I think Schneider owns software. Again, that was probably as expensive, if not more, than AutoCAD Electrical. So yeah, I'm not sure. Try SkyCAD or TinkerCAD. They're the only two I know of, but I don't think they're that similar to ePlan. Can it be connected to an actual PLC? It can, mate, yes. So I'm using PLC Sim as the driver, but you can use... Oh, you can't see any of that. I do apologise. You can use Allen Bradley PLCs. You can use Autom Gen Server, whatever that is. Control IO, MHJ. I'm not sure what some of these are. You can use any PLC which has a Modbus TCP client or server. I wonder how the server one works. I guess maybe Factory IO does the polling of the information, possibly. OPC UA, yeah, UA or DA. And any of the Siemens PLCs. Yeah. Do you have to have a powerful PC to run the Tier Portal in Factory IO? I'm not sure. I do have a good PC. I have a very good PC, in fact. I only got this about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. How it runs on less powerful PCs, I'm not sure, buddy. Not sure. How much do you charge for programming? I don't, mate. I've got a full-time job, so I just don't have the time to be able to help people out and stuff like that. I do give advice. Yeah, I try and help where I can, especially to anyone who's a super fan. If you're a super fan, then I definitely will give you as much help as I can, as I have time for. Yeah, so that's a bit. I don't contract myself out though. I have a full-time job and a family and a TikTok to run, and I just don't have time for anything else. Join the Discord as well. The Discord is a place to try and help people. Can you use Beckoff? I reckon you could use Beckoff if Beckoff has Modbus TCP, which I guess it will do, I imagine. See, that is the list. That is literally the driver list that I have. Oh, sorry, you can't see it again. I'm terrible at showing things. That's the full list of at least what I can see. You know, maybe there's some additional like updates or something I can download that show more, but for now, that's all I can see, so that's all I can advise on. Modbus TCP seems to be the one where you could use pretty much anything you want. Okay, so it's 10 o'clock now for me, guys. 10 PM at night, so I've got work tomorrow in the morning. I think I'll call it a night there. I'm definitely going to try, before I go live tomorrow, to get this fixed so we can go through this scenario here. Because I feel like it will take a long time to get through this. I'm anticipating it. It might not. It might take me 5 minutes. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of actuators. There's a lot of sensors. There's obviously some counting that needs to be done and stuff like that. Some buttons to implement into the system. Yeah, I reckon this will be a good one to sink the teeth into tomorrow. i5... 250 gigabyte SSD and 16 gig RAM PC can run Tier Portal V14 and Factory IO. Used it for 2 years. Good to know your husband. So this, I'm running this in a VM at the minute. I've given it. I think it's got the maximum amount of cores. I think it's 16 cores. I've gave it 16 gig of RAM, and I've given it a 200 gigabyte SSD to play with. So I mean that's pretty good. I think I've basically give it as much as I can in terms of hardware, in terms of RAM. Well, I think you can maybe give it more RAM, but definitely the cores. So my CPU's a 24 core, so I've gave it like 16. Yeah. Yeah, appreciate that, Mrs. Logical Controls. Thank you for letting them know. Where am I from? I'm from the UK, North Yorkshire, mate. Yeah. Them stop plates look like they rise up. Yes, that's what I was thinking as well, mate. Either they rise up, because that like kind of looks like a, I don't know. I was thinking maybe a linear actuator. That looks like a linear actuator to me. So I'm thinking this thing here slides across or something. I don't know. We'll have to look at it tomorrow. Yeah. If time over, then good night. True. That's a good way to put it. I appreciate that, TSTV. Yeah, that's where we're ending it now, I think. So I appreciate everyone who's followed, who's liked, who's shared the live, who's gifted tonight. I've had a few gifts. The engineer, as always, I really appreciate that, buddy. Tomorrow about 8:30 UK time ish. I'm always a bit loose with it. If you don't know what time that is, just have a quick Google in your location. Doesn't slide over, it lifts up. Oh, does it lift up? It kind of looks like a linear actuator to me there. Anyway, I'll have a look in the meantime. I'll try and work out some stuff in the meantime so it'll go a bit smoother. Appreciate everyone. Thank you. I'll catch you tomorrow if you can make the live tomorrow. Where's my button to stop? I can't. Do you know what? It's been over a week since I went live, so I can't even remember how to stop it. Anyway, I found it. Right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.